Hey there, everyone. I am Jen Rice, and I wanted to pop in here during my lunch hour and talk a little bit about goal setting and how we may need to just completely get rid of this whole thing. I've been doing some great reading from James Clear, and he is a writer, kind of a master of habits. I'll tell a little bit more about him later, but really, if we can give ourselves a little bit of grace, right, and know that there's a lot of things we can't control of. And when we set goals, like let's think about, when you're maybe a coach, let's say of a basketball team, your goal is to get to a championship, win a trophy. But the system, basically what the team does every day in practice is what gets them to that end result, right? Say you're training for a marathon and you're a runner who wants to experience that marathon. You want to say, I did that marathon. Well, the system of doing your workout every day is what gets you to that end result of the marathon. And, even if you're like a writer or, someone who does anything in the arts, maybe your end result is to either be published or to be able to sell your artwork out on the market. But the system that you're doing is what gets you to that end result. So I would like to say that we should probably abolish the whole goal setting and begin to just fall in love with systems. Now, this took me a while to adopt and to really work into my brain because I have always been more goal oriented. Do this and finish this and have that degree. Do this, finish this, have that at the end. But really what I was working all along was a system, right? So if we can, teach ourselves, and then of course if you're a fellow entrepreneur, learning a system will help you to get to that goal, whether it's $1 million business, multiple locations, whatever that might be. It's the system that brings you there. So I want to talk a little bit about James Clear because I actually stumbled upon him. I guess he has like 400,000 email subscribers, and he's done a book called Transform Your Habits, which seems really awesome. And basically he talks a lot about habits and how they relate to performance. I guess he himself is an athlete, so he does a lot of writing on this. I noticed if you like this content, he does have a podcast as well, and podcasts are great to kind of listen to on the go. So his name is James Clear, Clear. And if any of you guys have heard of him, definitely drop me a comment. I see some people hopping on, and if you've read any of his stuff, been on his website, checked out his podcast, like I said, I've just recently stumbled on him, and I love where he's going with the fall in love with systems. Don't be so goal oriented. So he talks about 3 things that actually will really help you with this whole thought of switching away from just being a goal setter. He talks about number 1, that goal setting can actually make you less happy. So it can cause, actually some angst, because you're always saying to yourself when you set a goal, I'm not good enough yet, but I will be when I whatever, right? So when you think about that, that doesn't really come from a place of positivity. It's sort of like, to me, it takes a little working around in the wirings, but it does make sense. So the second thing he talks about are that setting goals is actually at odds with long-term success, because you tend to have like what he calls a yo-yo effect, meaning that you set a goal. Okay, let's take our runner person. They're going to run a marathon. They get it. They do the marathon. And then what? Right? Because it was so focused on just that goal. I know a lot of you guys who may be watching, and for me personally, when I work in clinic, it's sort of like the outcome-based result, right? Like I'm looking for this outcome to happen and boom, I'm done. And I'm sure those of you with military backgrounds, anything like that, you're kind of working for that end goal. And this is a really interesting way to think about it, where you're more focused on the system of it and less focused on what the actual outcome will be, because then that outcome will likely be coming to fruition if you do the system. So the third thing he talks about is not setting goals because it suggests that you actually have control over goals, which I thought this was really great. Because I like to think, I kind of like to have control of a lot of things. And really, when you say that you're setting a goal, it's like you have some control. Whereas life happens, things happen, things don't always work the way they should, right? Or could. So you're actually insinuating you have control that you don't. So when you work a system, though, you do have control of that, right? So I love this thought of committing to a process, not goals. I'd love to hear what you guys think on this topic. I'm kind of diving in a bit. I know, for someone I've been a goal setter and I've been writing them out. This month, I am not setting goals. I'm actually setting activity. And part of this has come from a coach of mine, Ray Higdon, which has to do with my home business. He talks about doing action activities. And I think that is really, that's key. And then this with, James Clear goes into the habits, that habits make us masters of a system, and masters of the system of whatever that system is that you're working on, whether it's for athletics, coaching, your business. That's where it's really where the magic can happen, so to speak. So I really appreciate you guys watching today. I hope that you have a great day. We're having another, sort of tropical stormy day here, but I'm gonna get back at it here, and thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be launching my website within the next week. I'm hoping that some of you will check it out, and I'll put some more information up as we get closer to that. In the meantime, I do have a Facebook page, Jenn Rice International. If you want to go over there and check out that business page, I appreciate it. You guys have a great, great day. Talk to you soon.